Welcome to Criminal AF, and for those of you joining us for the first time, this is a true crime podcast. There will be talk of murder, rape, torture, assault, and pretty much any crime that would haunt your nightmares at any given moment. There will be detailed descriptions of said events, and there will be some vulgar language.
Like fuck.
We understand that Criminal AF is not for everyone, but we just ask that you at least give it a listen. If it's not for you, hey, thanks for checking it out.
See ya.
But if it is, welcome to the debauchery. The Long Island serial killer, known simply as LISK, may have finally been caught as a 59-year-old New York architect by the name of Rex Heuermann has been arrested in connection to the murders of 3 women and is the prime suspect for the murder of a 4th woman, known since 2010 as the Gilgo Four. I'm Dave Jari.
I'm Garrett Corder.
And this is Criminal as Fuck. What's good, fuckers, and welcome back to another episode of Criminal AF. Once again, I am Dave Jari, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Garrett Corder.
How we doing?
Before we get to the story, we'd like to recognize our sponsor for this episode, HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's number one meal kit.
They should just advertise. You can cook too, idiot.
Yeah.
That's all it should be. I'm telling you. They would make so much more money. Put me in charge of advertising over at HelloFresh, guys.
Yeah. To get our amazing offer of 16 free meals and free shipping, go to HelloFresh.com/CriminalAF16 and use code CriminalAF16. Now, we must absolutely give a shout out to our newest members of the Debauched. We have Jennifer Hales Killett, Jennifer Keegan, and Elizabeth +4. Thank you so much for joining our fucked up family.
Kill it.
Kill it.
I like that. That fits pretty well in this podcast.
I know, that's right.
Kill it.
She was on the Discord a little while ago, and I was like, what a fucking beautiful name.
Kill it.
Kill it. All right, you can become a member of the Debauched as well by joining our Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Everyone gets ad-free episodes and access to our private Discord. And those who join our Ramirez tier or above get all of our Audible, video, and downloadable content, including the narrated scripts from every story, 5-Minute Murder, where I discuss a true crime event in about 5 minutes, or less, or more, depends. You also get our Patreon-only podcast, Random AF, where we discuss anything and everything, and we don't hold anything back. For the higher tiers, you get all of this, plus producer credits on every episode, some goodies thrown in like t-shirts, posters, coffee mugs, etc. To choose your tier, just go to criminalasfuck.com.
Hey.
You just bought it. I like it.
I've never been to a website with
the word fuck in it.
Yeah, or any swear at that.
Right. criminalasfuck.com and click on the links tab or follow the link in the episode description. There are other ways to support Criminal AF as well. You can visit our show on Apple Podcasts, where you can leave a detailed review on why Criminal AF is
the number one true crime podcast in the world.
There you go.
Somebody the other day said to it, when you were,
they were
like, hey, I tried to go on Spotify, I typed in crime, and you never came up. Listen, we're shadow banned, okay, guys? Spotify's against us. It's not true. Don't pay attention to the numbers. We are the number one true crime podcast in the world.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And the sooner you get on board with that, the better off we'll all be.
I'm going to speak this into existence.
You can also go to Spotify, speaking of, and answer the questions or polls that were posted in each episode. Last but not least, you can be rocking our merch.
Go get you some merch.
Yes, sir. There are tons of designs and products to choose from, and you can find them all at criminalasfuck.com. Once again.
You love that shit.
I fucking love that shit.
You love it.
I searched it the other day. I'm like, let me see, because you want to, they're only $20. Domains are only $20. So you try to find, like similar names, buy them all up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I was like, let me check it out. Criminal as fuck. Boom. Available. Click. Bought. I love it.
We're staying true to the vulgar language here.
Yeah.
Mail call. Mail call.
Mail call.
Prior to every episode, we send out an AMA on Instagram for a chance for your question to be answered on air. And today, we're going to start with Stu Muertos Art.
What a name.
Yeah, I like it. Stu Muertos.
Stu Muertos.
Did I say it right?
Stu
Muertos.
Stu Muertos. It sounds like a telenovela.
Yeah.
Like the guy that comes in all questioned in the door, like puzzled.
Stu Muertos.
Ronaldo.
All right, I'm sorry. Question is, which serial killer's murders would you claim as your own?
Ooh.
Like if you're bragging to, you get locked up in prison and be like, yo, I was responsible for blank.
First off, I'm not bragging in prison.
Hold on. Don't get caught for lying about that.
At all. Yeah. I'm playing the game, baby. I'm telling you right now. I'm opening my ramen. I think I've talked about this on this podcast. I'm opening my ramen shop.
Yep.
I'm selling fucking
Crocs,
shower shoes, and I'm hanging out. I'm not lying about stuff. I'm playing the game. I remember when Jay said that he's just gonna cover himself in shit and act crazy.
Yeah. I'm just gonna cover myself in shit. I'm gonna be the crazy guy. Yeah. That's funny. Now, if you're gonna claim someone else's murders, like you want to go crazy, I think. Like I'm thinking. I mean, of some of just the shows that we've covered so far. Two Box Killers, Gerard Schaefer.
The Toy Box Killer is kind of weird.
The Toy Box, yeah.
I brought my dog in.
Yeah.
He's male. And he likes to fuck. No, that's not something to brag about. Like, I got 3 German Shepherds.
And they like to fuck.
Fucking crazy.
I want to go with Gerard Schaefer. That dude was sick.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you said, I propped her body up on a toilet seat and I sat on her knees and I waited for her to shit on my face.
Yeah, maybe
as soon as you say that,
maybe they'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Eating people, for sure. Eating flesh, that's a good one to go with because people are like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. I would say definitely. You'd have to go with the shock value.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
Just not. But then also, if you're a child or a woman killer, that doesn't get any respect in jail either.
No, you're gonna get fucking murdered.
That's exactly so.
Yeah. So you want to come off? You got to come off crazy. Like just be like, you make up fucking shit if you have to. I don't know, but. Yeah, I would definitely go with the crazier aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because if you go into prison, like let's just say you go into prison and you'd be like,
I don't want to go.
What are you in here? I know, I don't want to either. Like, what are you in here for? And you're like, I murdered 17 children. You're done for. You're going to die.
Yeah.
But if you go
even if you lie, they're going to find out.
Yeah.
Because they got that buddy in the booking department or whatever that cleans the floors that's going to look at the file. So you got to just be honest.
Whereas, if you go in there and they're like, what are you in here for? I ate a dead woman's asshole, And they're like, oh, shit. Fuck, this dude's crazy.
This guy's fucking nuts. Revelation. Yeah. Just start going crazy. Yeah. I needed to do this. Yeah. Go. The crazier is the better.
All right. Do you have a killer?
That's what I mean. I feel like I'd want to pick certain kills.
Oh, you want to
know what I mean?
Get a potpourri of fucking murders.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of someone who killed men too.
That was crazy?
I mean, they're all fucking crazy.
Well, they're all fucking.
I wouldn't even want to say that I killed a woman in prison.
Well, it depends on how you did it. Because sometimes, like if you're in there, if you're a rapist, you're done for.
Well, I mean, dude.
I'm just saying.
It's majority.
Right. Like if you're a rapist, you're done for. If you're a child molester, you're done for. So you don't want to bring up any of that shit. Now, if you're just like somebody who just goes around and fucking murders people, I don't think the sex of the person actually matters.
Oh, so, I mean, speaking of, we just did Gary.
Ridgway, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that just sheer numbers alone would be impressive,
right?
To brag about.
Yeah. How many bodies you got? 49, motherfucker.
It's actually 100.
Yeah, it's actually 100. Yeah. The ones they know about, or
yeah, I would go like total? Crazy quantity. If I had to tell, crazy quantity and crazy stories.
Yeah.
I mean. You could go anybody. I guarantee you. How often do you think those guys are like? How long does a well-known serial killer have to stay in jail before he's letting a gen pop? Because think about it. Dahmer died in gen pop, right? Yep. And he was well-known. He was he was with other inmates cleaning and shit like that. Right. So it's like, when do you take them off 23-hour lockdown, and when do you integrate them with the regular inmate?
Yeah. Well, Dahmer wasn't killed because of what he did.
No, the guy was crazy.
He was killed for who he did it to.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what
True.
I mean?
But I mean, even knowing that was a security risk, they still let him go in with other inmates. So there's got to be a point where they just kind of toss you out to the fishes.
Yeah.
Just put me in right away.
Put me in. Put me in Gen Pop. Yeah. It's going to go one way or the other. Either I'm going to fucking be murdered or I'm going to get so much cred.
Final answer.
Yeah.
He asked, the question was, what serial killer would you claim murders? And I'm strictly saying this because I think it's the safest thing to do when I'm locked up.
Okay.
Son of Sam.
Son of Sam.
Yeah. Because just kind of like trying to make a name for yourself. Kind of like you just shot him. You didn't torture any females. You didn't do it.
Okay.
All right. See, I think that's the safest way to go. And because I'm only thinking about my survival in jail at this point.
Survival and your ramen business.
Yes. My Crocs and ramen business. My commissary business. And that's only if my wife actually puts money on the books after this happens. Too.
Right.
So I might be screwed there too. I hope all
and they send in their fucking.
I hope the debauched keeps in touch.
I know. They send in money for the commissary.
I'm going to be lonely in there after my wife leaves me.
Yeah, I'm going totally crazy. I'm going Gerard Schaefer. I'm going to do that. I'm just. Yeah. That dude is a sick fuck.
So there you go.
Yeah. All right.
You're going to die in jail, but yeah.
So that answers it for both of us. Thank you very much to Muertos Art. And again, before each episode, we'll send out an AMA on Instagram for a chance for your question to be read by us. Please be sure to follow @CriminalAFPod on Instagram to be sure to get your questions in. Criminal AF will be back after this quick break. Now back to Criminal AF.
I bet Florida smells the same way it looked. Like a flaccid penis.
Welcome to Florida.
Yeehaw!
Breaking news, Florida. Report. Woman chases man with a machete at a Florida gas station.
Oh, here we go.
North Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A woman was arrested after she allegedly chased a man with a machete Sunday at a Florida gas station, according to a report. Michelle Montes Zuninga.
Say it fast.
Michelle Montes Zuninga.
Oh, very good.
48 was yelling at a man at a racetrack. That's such a Florida thing.
At a racetrack. Get over here, motherfucker.
Fucking, he's got fuel injection up. He's cheating.
He's got that nitrous.
I love how we just go fucking straight.
We go like backwards.
Yeah, backwards Virginia hick.
West Virginia, fucking Appalachian.
Yeah, in North Fort Myers. And screaming that he wasn't allowed to be there. The man who had previous run-ins with the woman got on his bicycle and left the area.
So they're known to each other.
Oh, they're known. So this guy, stop riding your damn bike!
I told you not to come down to the racetrack with that thing.
According to the report, Montes Zuninga,
God, we fucking butchering that accent.
Allegedly got in her car and followed him to the sidewalk. Got out of her car with a machete and swung it at him multiple times.
Bro.
Montes Zuninga was charged with aggravated assault.
Aggravated assault. Okay.
Not attempted murder.
Not attempted murder. Okay.
It depends. I think maybe if you made contact, you got it. Aggravated assault is still a pretty serious charge.
Yeah.
It can fuck you up like for later on.
15, 20 years.
Yeah. But no, I just thought this was... Imagine just pumping gas low key and then a chick just comes out and chasing a dude on a bike with a fucking machete and you're just like, and it's another day. It's another day down there.
Right. Remember
that's gotta be one of the most terrifying. I almost would take the
machete?
gun. I would almost take the gun than have a crazy deranged woman coming at me with a machete.
I would rather be held at gunpoint. Yes,
yeah, that's so much more intimidating. A machete is. I watched too many cartel videos man.
I ain't fucking with no machetes.
Because whenever you watch that hack happen, it's like it doesn't just like not like a nice slice. It's a chunk. It's like a chunk out of you.
I know. Like if you get held at gunpoint or any other. Baseball bat, whatever. You're like, all right, how can I work my way out of this situation? You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Somebody comes at you with a machete, you are fucking running. You're not sticking around to see what happens next. You know?
This story leaves me like puzzled though, because I want to know, did he keep going back to the racetrack? Like what why did
a lot of unanswered questions.
Why did she chase him down with a machete? Because he was he there's that motherfucker again. I don't know. I need to hear more.
Maybe there was some groupies at the racetrack. Yeah.
Ooh.
He's like, I told you not to mess around with those groupies.
I'm thinking is Ricky Bobby when it's hey Ricky, look at these.
Yeah.
If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. Honestly, I would want. It's on the bucket list though. Go to NASCAR.
Like an actual NASCAR
race?
race?
I want to go. I
heard it's fucking fun.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I heard like there's a lot of stereotypes, but I can
not the big one. Now if you go to like Waterford Speed Bowl, like the little quarter-mile track.
No. I want to go to it. No, I'm not going to this racetrack where they tote machetes and chase people on bikes. No, I want to go to like a high-end establishment where you know. Yeah, and preferably not in Florida. So they take racing serious down there.
Yeah,
but Fort Myers isn't that much of a hicky area. Maybe it is though. I'm not familiar. I thought Fort Myers is pretty nice.
I heard Fort Myers is pretty nice. That's where the Red Sox actually have their spring training, I believe. Fort Myers. Yeah, I mean, it's a good part. But you know what? Just like with any town, you're going to have the other side of the trailer, the trailer park.
We got double wides on this side. I love how trailer parks always have beautiful names, too. It's so funny, like Acorn Acres. Or Long Meadows or something. It's always something fucking beautiful. And then you drive through, you're like, well, is that a fucking a moonshine distillery? Like, what? Or they go over the top. It's a nice double wide, and then they have like Greek fucking poles or something crazy.
Yeah, they make it extra elaborate.
It's like when people throw they buy a Honda Civic and throw like AutoZone hood scoops on it. It's like a Greek pantheon columns. There's white picket fences around.
The stick and peel fucking hood scoop.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Right.
And I'm not shitting on anybody that has a trailer. It's actually a very savvy invest. If you don't mind living there.
I actually did live in a trailer one time.
Way.
I'm telling you, I actually did live in a trailer. What?
Come on.
No, it was after my divorce. My buddy.
Oh, that's even sadder.
Listen.
Now you're making me feel bad.
Listen. So
after my divorce. She left me with nothing. I had to live in a trailer.
But okay, so my friend, he owned his own house, whatever, and on his property he had a trailer that it was basically it served as
no way.
Listen,
you were the guy who lived in a trailer on someone's property.
Listen, I was desperate.
Why didn't I fucking ask that question when we played fucking Are You Trash? Oh my god. I would have never
listen.
All right, my bad. Go ahead. No. Keep telling the story. My bad.
It was after my divorce.
You learn new things every day, people, about your fucking friends. I don't know.
Well, dude, I mean, let me tell you. I don't know if anybody can, sympathize with me here, but in the state of Connecticut, like when you get divorced and you have to pay child support, they don't give a fuck about the dude. You know what I mean? You are fucked. So after my divorce, I had to sell my house, sell all fucking my shit. I basically had to give up everything that I knew what my life was. My buddy was like, hey, my brother just moved out to Arizona, and I got this. I got this trailer here sitting here empty. If you need a little fucking homestead, I got something for it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I'll fucking live there for fucking $500 a month. Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do to survive. I don't know. At that point, I think I'm just gonna shoot crack underneath the fucking
underneath the bridge.
Free pass.
Oh my god!
You'll see me off that Flocka doing like fucking bent over and it's like sleeping. What's wrong? Garrett just didn't want to fucking live in a trailer, dude. He could have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, hey, pick your situation. You want to live in a trailer? Or you want to be fucking doped out underneath the fucking freeway?
Yeah. You're right.
Whatever. It was actually a nice trailer. I am gonna say it was a nice trailer. All right.
Did it have wheels?
Huh? Yeah. They all have wheels.
No.
They're up on the blocks.
No, the mobile home?
Yeah. No. I'm
talking about like the, like the double wide, like the.
Yeah, those trailers.
They move?
Yeah.
So did it have I'm asking, did it have could you drive it?
No, you could tow it.
Okay. All right. That's, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you were in an RV.
In an RV?
Yeah, on someone's property. Like shitter's full, like that type of shit. That's a little bit more classy. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Hell yeah. My trailer was somewhat in a stable
You need some
spot.
Greek pantheons on it.
I need some Greek pantheons. All right, anyway. All right, the reason that we're here today. Now, I do say I did have a story written. I had it all planned out. I had it mapped out. It was going to be great. I had the whole story recorded, blah, blah, blah. And then...
Breaking news.
The Long Island serial killer potentially could be caught.
I know you were so excited when you came into work the other day. You're gassed up. You're like,
I'm like, bro. So, well, I mean, with the Long Island serial killer, it does have a home element to it.
Yes.
Because one of the victims was from our area, Norwich, Connecticut.
My hometown.
Your hometown, yes. Norwich, Connecticut. So it does hold a little special place for us. But yeah, we're just gonna go. I said, listen, we're gonna do the story that I had planned. We're gonna do that next time. We have to jump on this because this is like breaking news, and
we should do it in segments too, as we get more information. Come back and figure out.
We'll read the court documents. We'll really dissect this.
Right. So there's a lot of like interesting information that's going to come out, and I just wanted to like touch base on this, basically how it all came about, who the women were. Let's focus in on them, and who this dude was. Okay, Rex Heuermann.
Rex Heuermann, architect. We've been saying that for the last 2 days. Rex Heuermann.
Rex Heuermann, architect.
Architect extraordinaire.
So, if you have a chance, go online. I guess last year he did like a interview or a promo or some shit like that for his business or whatever.
Yep.
Watch the video.
Very prominent guy in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Just found that out. You know what's funny too is why do architects always say that they're architects? That's why we kept doing Rex Heuermann here, architect. Because if you're an architect, you always have to tell people you're an architect.
Right.
It's the one job besides nurses.
Yeah, you can't forget nurses. Yeah. I mean, hey, nurses, yes, I love you. Great. But when you become a nurse, you have to tell everybody within hearing distance that you're a nurse.
Every Facebook status starts with, as a nurse. I just wanted to say...
I'm sorry, it's just a thing.
Or doctors too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we love you.
Patrick Mahomes, MD.
Right. MD, yeah. But yeah, pretty much anything that you have to go to an extended amount of school for. You always, like, we work in security. Like, you don't hear me. I'm Dave Jari, security. As a security officer at a nuclear power plant, I think your opinion is incorrect. No, you don't. You never hear that, right?
Yeah. Plumber.
Steve Smith, plumber.
Yeah, but see, Rex Heuermann, architect. It sounds like you're supposed to.
Right. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I had to scrap the last story. We're going to go right into this one. And without further ado, we'll learn. Actually, first off, we'll learn how this all came about. How did we know that there were these victims? How do we know? Who this person was, so we're going to do things a little different because this was last minute. I threw it all together. Hopefully it comes out okay. But we're going to do one chapter, and then we're just going to discuss the rest. So without further ado, here we go with chapter 1 of Rex Heuermann, architect. On the morning of May 11th, 2010, at about 2 a.m., 23-year-old Shannon Gilbert was driven by Michael Pack from Manhattan, New York, to the home of Joseph Brewer in the Oak Beach Association on Long Island. Shannon entered the home to perform her duties as an escort while her driver waited in the car. Approximately 3 hours later, at 5 a.m., Shannon became erratic, causing Brewer to tell Pack to get her out of his home. Shannon called 911 while Brewer and Pack were trying to remove her from the home.
State police? Yeah, there's somebody after me. I'm sorry? There's somebody after me. Where are you? There's somebody after me. Okay, where are you? There's somebody after me. Where are you, ma'am? I don't know. You're driving right now? No, I'm inside the house. I'm sorry? I'm inside the house. What house? I don't know. Can you trace where I am? I'm sorry? Can you trace where I am? No, I can't. What's your callback number you're calling from? Huh? What phone number are you calling from? Somebody's after me. Please. Are you in Suffolk County or Nassau County? I'm in Long Island. Where on Long Island are you? No. 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 No, stop, no. Where in Long Island are you? In Suffolk County? Nassau County? Huh? Alright. Why didn't call me by my name? Why? County, you on the line? Stop. Please. Stop it, please. Please stop. Please, into the door?
No, time to go.
Please. Please. Please.
Go that way, please. Come on, let's go. Come on, roll that side. Come on, go outside. Come on, all of us. Come on, go outside. Come on.
No, please.
Come on. Please, come on.
Please.
Come on.
Why?
Just try it. All right. What's the matter? Are you okay?
What are you going to do? What are you going to do to me?
Let's go back to the hole. Let's go back to the house. All right? We're in Long Island. We're not near the water.
Please, stop.
Please, Mike.
No, stop it, please. Please, get me out of here, Mike. You're being sarcastic about this. You're a part of this all along.
I can manage it now.
Shannon ran outside and down the street, passing 4 other homes to the front door of Gus Coletti, about 0.2 of a mile away. Coletti answers the door and invites her in.
Somebody else here? Huh? Don't get yourself hurt. Where you going? Wait a minute. Where you going? Where you going?
She then ran from Coletti's home, prompting him to call 911.
Suffolk Police, say something to your location of emergency.
Yes, I live at Oak Beach in the association. There's a young girl about 14 years old running around here screaming, and there's some guy trying to follow her.
What's the address here?
I'm at 17 the Fairway.
All right, do you have a description of the girl or the boy?
Pardon me?
Do you have a description of the girl or the boy?
The girl is about 14 years old, got blonde hair, very small. The boy, I can't tell, he was into like a Suburban.
Color?
Black.
Did you happen to get a plate number or anything?
No, I didn't.
Are they still on the fairway?
They just went past the gatehouse where the entrance is.
What's the name of the complex?
It's Oak Beach Association.
Okay.
Out at by Robert Moses.
All right. Is there somebody over there?
I'll be watching.
Oh, okay.
Shannon ran another 0.2 of a mile to the home of Barbara Brennan.
Suffolk Police, 875. What is the location of your emergency?
43 the Bayou. Some woman is knocking at my door.
What town are you in?
Oak Beach Association.
What's the nearest corner street now?
Ocean Parkway. She says she's in danger.
Do you know her or no?
No, I don't. I'm not letting her in.
She's banging on your door now?
Yeah.
Did she say what kind of danger?
No.
Oh.
And we live in a gated community.
What's your name, ma'am?
Barbara Brennan.
What's there a name to that community?
Oak Beach Association.
Oak Beach Association.
And I have an elderly mother here.
All right, I'll get somebody right over there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Soon, she disappeared into the thick, 12-foot-high reeds that surrounded the beachfront community. Shannon Gilbert's disappearance sparked an area-wide search. Her remains were found in a marsh, less than a mile from where she was last seen, on December 11, 2011. Her death was believed to be ruled as a drowning. But what makes the story of Shannon Gilbert much more significant is that it was during this search, a cadaver dog came across the body of a young woman, and another, and another, and another, all found within 1/10 of a mile of each other. Known as the Gilgo Four, these women were the first of 11 total bodies, 9 women, a man, and a toddler, that cast a shadow over Gilgo Beach and the surrounding area. This was when the world first heard of LISK, the Long Island serial killer, and the subsequent conspiracies and mysteries that followed. On Friday, July 14th, 2023, a man by the name of Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect from Nassau County, was arrested for the murders of 3 of the Gilgo Four, and he is the prime suspect in the murder of the 4th woman. He worked in Manhattan, not far from where his first victim was last seen, and lived at 105 First Avenue in Massapequa Park, about a 20-minute drive from where the bodies were found. Neighbors in this quiet South Shore neighborhood were split in their description of the person now associated with potentially being the man known as the Long Island serial killer. Some describing him as a quiet, well-dressed man who just got up every day and went to work, while others described him as the weird guy in the neighborhood, who parents refused to let their children go to his house on Halloween. Heuermann has been on the police's radar for at least a year, as his Chevy Avalanche truck was described by a witness as the one being used in the disappearance of 27-year-old Amber Costello. Investigations into disturbing phone calls being made to the families of 25-year-old Maureen Brainerd Barnes and 24-year-old Melissa Barthélemy after their disappearances led investigators to run cell phone records from the phones of Brainerd Barnes and Barthélemy, and these were tied to burner phones allegedly used to schedule appointments with the women. Heuermann's American Express card was used to purchase these burner phones. In addition, these burner phones, as well as Brainerd Barnes and Barthélemy's phones, were all used both in Manhattan, where Heuermann worked, and in Massapequa Park, where he lived. Heuermann also specifically searched the victims' names, as well as updates on the Long Island serial killer over 200 times from these burner accounts. As early as June of 2022, police were comparing DNA samples from the crime scenes to samples retrieved from Heuermann's trash. A single female hair was found on a naked body of 22-year-old Megan Waterman and was compared to DNA taken off of a bottle left in Heuermann's trash, which was determined to have belonged to his wife, who they learned was out of town for each of the Gilgo Four disappearances. And finally, in June of this year, DNA recovered from a half-eaten pizza crust found inside of a discarded pizza box was compared to a male hair found at the bottom of a burlap sack utilized to transport Waterman's body, was a direct match to Rex Heuermann. He was officially charged in the murders of Melissa Barthélemy, Amber Costello, and Megan Waterman. He is the prime suspect in the murder of Maureen Brainerd Barnes. It is important to note, while some investigators believe there could be more women directly matched to Rex Heuermann, there is some speculation that a second or even a third killer could be responsible for the deaths of the other women found in the area. The following discussion, we will learn about the victims officially associated with LISK, as well as others who were found in or around the Gilgo Beach area. Criminal AF will be back after this quick break. Now back to Criminal AF. So now that we know a little bit more about Rex Heuermann, architect.
Yeah, make sure you say that.
You brought up a point before about like why, like
when you go on TikTok and you see all the stuff like, for the Long Island case.
Yeah,
it's always like
architect.
A guy, Lex Heuermann, who was an architect.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to know that?
Right.
Why?
Yeah, you brought up Dahmer. You know,
they didn't say Jeffrey Dahmer was arrested for eating people. He milk bottle filler or whatever the fuck job he had. Like, you don't say that.
Right. All right. So, now that we know a little bit about how everything transpired and, unfortunately it had to come down to Shannon Gilbert. She disappeared and a tragic episode in itself. But without that, we never, I don't want to say never, but we would
somehow we find bodies a lot.
Yeah. But we wouldn't have found all of these people. Take that how you will. But anyway, so go ahead.
I was going to say she almost got away too.
Yeah.
She dipped into a marsh. She had the phone. She had the police on the phone, like the whole nine.
Yeah. She was initially included in all of these as potential victims and whatnot, but it was ruled that she had drowned.
Yeah.
So she's no longer considered part of the whole Long Island serial killer murders. Now her family disputes that. They want a little bit more investigation, thinking that she was murdered.
She's on the phone saying somebody's chasing her and then disappears. I don't know. Drowning might.
I guess where they found her, it was like a.
Maybe she tried to swim away. You know, maybe she was trying to get away or something.
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe he just held her underwater when he found her to get rid of her real quick.
Right.
There's
ways about.
I would look into it.
All right, so now we're going to go into who the official victims of the Long Island serial killer were, starting with the ones that we know are associated with Rex Heuermann. Architect. So we're going to start with the Gilgo Four. Now, Maureen Brainerd Barnes, she was 25. Now, she's from Norwich, Connecticut, our hometown here. Yeah. She was last seen on July 9th, 2007, after traveling to New York City. Now, what would happen is Maureen, she did do, services, call services and whatnot.
She was more higher end, though.
Yeah, she wasn't
than
like
some of the victims in this story. Yeah, she was more like Manhattan call or escort.
Right. Now, she didn't want to keep doing this. It's just like whenever she needed quick cash or, behind on her rent or whatever, then she would hop on a train, travel to New York City, do a weekend of services, and come back and
try to live a normal life.
Try to live a normal life, But she was kind of stuck in this repeated cycle, Now her remains were recovered in Gilgo Beach in December of 2010. I believe she was the second victim found. The first to officially go missing, the second to be found. Now the one that was found first was Melissa Bartholomew. She was 24. She's from Buffalo, New York, and she went missing on July 10th, 2009. She had been living in the Bronx and was working as an escort through Craigslist. Her remains were found on Gilgo Beach in December of 2010 as well. Megan Waterman was 22 of South Portland, Maine. She went missing on June 6th, 2010, after placing advertisements on Craigslist as an escort. Her remains were also discovered on the beach in 2010. Amber Lynn Costello, she was 27 from North Babylon, New York. Now she's actually from, rather than being picked up in the city or working in the city, North Babylon is not far from Massapequa Park. Yeah. So it's basically his hometown. She went missing on September 2nd, 2010. She had been working as an escort as well through Craigslist, and as with the other Gilgo Four, she was found in December of 2010.
Rex really liked back pages, man.
Yep. So now Heuermann, he has been charged officially in the murders of Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Lynn Costello, the three of the four. He is the prime suspect in the murder of Maureen Brainerd Barnes, but this is just a matter of time. Like they know that he did it. It's just a matter of proving.
It's tough though, because at the same time, it's like I want to see this case go further because, like, there were sex workers. You could easily, like, as of right now, I know that the hairs were found on multiple bodies or whatever from him, but you could also argue, the defense could argue that they're sex workers. He visited them. He had a problem. Yeah. Doesn't mean he killed them. So right. I'm curious. There has to be more evidence than just hairs,
right.
Because you can easily defend that in a court of law.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's other circumstances.
I'm with you, but the defense, like, you pretty much have to have a solid
prosecution
to convict. And I don't know. A hair could easily, hair on sex workers could go either way.
Well, put a hair inside a burlap bag.
Sure. Well, now see, that's why we need to see. I need to see more. I need to follow this case a little bit more.
Right.
Because we said the same thing about the Idaho killer too. When he killed the 4 girls. When it first came out, they had like, it's something.
Right.
Or it was very minute evidence.
Right.
And we're like, this guy he could easily get off in this case. And then you find out during the trial, they're like, he had DNA on the fucking murder weapon. He had this, he had that. You're like, okay, yeah. This guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he's stupid. Yeah.
I'm excited. I want to see more.
And wasn't he going for his master's in criminology or something? Yeah, fucking weird.
Criminal science or something like that. But yeah, I want to. They have to have more because they don't release everything until the actual trial.
Yeah, they don't.
So there's no way they're gonna bring this. And they're gonna wait that long.
Right.
But I also read that they were nervous that he was gonna kill again, which led to them speeding up their arrest indictment or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that also could be good in his defense too. So it's like
a little rushed.
Yeah. Because they were watching him. His
at least a couple of years.
His behavior was changed, and they were very nervous that he was going to act again.
Right.
So,
yeah, and it just goes to show like how these investigations go.
Yeah.
Because up until July 14th, when he was arrested, nobody outside of this operation knew what was going on. You know what I mean? There was no leaks. There was no.
Yeah, they kept it sealed.
We might have a person of interest. Blah blah blah.
Dude,
they kept this shit under fucking wraps.
People were watching him eat and waiting for him to throw away his fucking scrap.
Yeah,
that's pretty gangsta.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, kudos to them. I mean, they had this at least from what I've read so far. I mean, obviously there's a lot more information to come out. At least since July of 2022, which is. As we talked about, is when they found the bottle with his wife's DNA on the bottle and compared it to a woman's hair that was found on one of the victims.
Yeah.
So they connected the wife first to one of the victims, then went to, the wife was out of town during all of these fucking, murders and everything. Then the hair that was found in the burlap bag, they got the DNA, they matched it to a pizza crust.
And the other episode, you were over here saying I could go on a 100-kill murder spree and not get caught.
Well, I just don't eat pizza. Stay away from the pizza, folks. That's how you get caught. Not only is it high in carbs, but it also
gets you back.
It'll actually throw you in jail.
Yeah. When I was talking earlier, I was just thinking about how do criminal defense lawyers sleep at night? You're making money, but come on, how?
When you know for a fact that they fucking kill these people.
I know, I don't get it.
And you have to, everybody deserves a fair shot at trial.
Yeah, that's what they tell themselves to fall asleep at night, dude. Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if there's DNA evidence that points directly to you or to your client or whatever, yeah, I agree. How do you sleep at night knowing? The best thing you can do.
And they're trying to get them off. Right.
Yeah.
And then they're like, the ethics of law, we have to try it. Shut up.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't have it up for it. It's that money,
good money,
baby.
Though. It's good money.
So what if you just sacrifice your morals, right?
There's actually, you want to talk about morals, there's actually prosecutors who quit being a prosecutor to become defense attorneys.
Well, yeah, prosecutors don't get paid.
That's where the fucking flow is from. Yeah. Being a defense attorney. Criminal AF will be back after this quick break. Now back to Criminal AF. All right, so that was the Gilgo 4. That's how this whole thing fucking kicked off back in 2010. Now the other quote-unquote official murders attributed to the Long Island serial killer are that of Jessica Taylor. She's 20, of Washington, D.C. She went missing in New York City in July of 2003. Her partial remains were first recovered on July 26, 2003 in Maynardville, New York, and later other remains belonging to her were found on Gilgo Beach in 2011. Now we're going to see like a little going trend here where there's this is where people speculate. Even in the legal realm, they speculate that the Long Island serial killer was possibly multiple killers because there's different MOs in groups. You know, you have the Gilgo Four, who all were essentially they believe were strangled.
Almost like Craigslist killer type.
Yeah. And then you go into another group of women who were actually dismembered and placed in different areas, different dumping grounds,
body parts and shit.
Yeah. So we'll discuss all that.
I mean, I know there's MOs, but somebody could try something new.
Yeah, there's absolutely like a progression.
We've done multiple episodes where they switched up.
Right.
You know how they killed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about, you know, your progression, your skill, you learn, you adapt, and
trying to figure out what you like.
Right. What your kink is.
Yeah.
I guess. All right. So the next one was Valerie Mack. She was 24. She was of Port Republic, New Jersey. She was last seen in spring of 2000. She was once known only as Jane Doe number 6, as her partial remains were first discovered in Maynardville, New York in November of 2000. And later on, the remains were found on Gilgo Beach in April 2011. Her remains in separate dumping locations were connected using genetic genealogy in May of 2020. There was Jane Doe number 7. She was also dubbed Fire Island Jane Doe. Her partial remains were originally recovered near Tobay Beach in April of 2011. And these remains were also linked by DNA testing to a set of remains found on Fire Island in April of 1996. One of the ways they connected her was she had an identifiable surgical scar on her left leg. That's, other than DNA, that she had a significant recognizable trait. Now there's John Doe, and this is where it gets a little interesting. Now, John Doe was discovered on Gilgo Beach in April of 2011 as well. He was an Asian male who died of blunt force trauma to the face. Okay, so this is different MO. There's strangulation, there's dismemberment. Now, this is blunt force trauma. Okay, according to investigators, he likely worked as an escort. As his body was found, he was wearing women's clothing. He was between the ages of 17 and 23 years of age. He was 5'6" in height and missing 4 teeth. It is believed that he had been dead between 5 and 10 years. So the assumption is that this man was dressed in women's clothing. He probably done his makeup up to look like a woman, and then
propositioning sex act.
Right, and then when he was propositioned, for a date, the killer found out he was a dude and was like, no, so I'm gonna now beat the fuck out of you.
That's a hard one to link.
Right.
That could have been somebody who was just pissed that they got bamboozled too. You know what I mean?
And
or did the killer put those clothes on him to make him more? There's some weird people. There's some weird people.
Now, and basically the only connection to all of this is he was found on Gilgo Beach, along with the others. Now, it's something interesting to point out. Sorry if we're all over the place here, but this is, like I said, this is all new information coming out. We're trying to piece everything together. Now, all of these victims are spread out along the beach. Whether
is Gilgo Beach nice? Is it high end? Because there
are high end associations. Like when we listened to the 911 call earlier, which Shannon Gilbert.
Yeah.
She was actually at prominent location. Before she ran off.
There's a lot of escorts in Gilgo Beach, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, I don't mean to mess you up.
No, you good. So the interesting thing about all of this is that all of these victims, if you actually had to put pins in a map on where they were found, they're all pretty much found along an 8+ mile stretch of beach, all within probably a tenth of a mile of each other. Very, very short distance, 500 feet, whatever.
By definition, dumping ground.
Dumping ground, right? Here, and then 500 feet here, and then another 500 feet here. You know what I mean? Which is pretty interesting, because if this is multiple killers like they thought it was, I mean, was this part of a cult? Was this part of a murdering fucking scheme?
The odds of that just happening
organically
is not
nil.
Very high.
Yeah. All right, so we'll continue on. We have now. This is going to become a little sad. I mean, not that any of this is not sad, but this is kind of hit you right in the heart. Now, on June 28th, 1997, the dismembered torso of a young African-American female, publicly known as Peaches, this is because she had a tattoo of a peach on her left breast. Her torso was found in Lakeview, New York. Okay? In 2011, when they're finding all these bodies popping up, investigators discovered her arms and her legs inside a plastic container near Jones Beach State Park, which is along the Gilgo Beach area. Now, DNA analysis later identified Peaches as the mother of the next victim. The skeletal remains of Baby Doe. She was the female toddler of potentially mixed race between the ages of 16 and 24 months. She was discovered on Gilgo Beach in April 2011. Now, her body was wrapped in a blanket, and she showed no visible signs of trauma. Now, DNA tests have revealed that the child's mother was Peaches, as we discussed, whose arms and legs were discovered 10 miles east of where Baby Doe was found near Jones Beach State Park. The toddler was wearing gold earrings and a gold necklace. Now, like when you put that into context, like this baby, you know, obviously she's well cared for, gold earrings, gold necklace, you know, obviously loved, you know, a victim of happenstance, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's...
Peaches and Baby Doe may have been different from the other victims, as they may have been connected to the killer in a personal nature.
Yeah, because you're not bringing your 2-year-old out with
on a date,
on dates or prostitute, like whatever.
Yeah, right.
So the killer had to have known
who they were, right? Now Peaches was, and this is where it kind of gets, you know, a little weird, is that Peaches was dismembered. She was cut up into numerous pieces. Her torso, her arms, her legs, her head were all removed. And she was disposed in at least 3 different locations. Okay. Furthermore, like I said, her head is still missing. So this is suggesting that there's a 4th disposal site of Peaches. So this guy, whoever killed her and dismembered her, spread her out, you know what I mean? To kind of like eliminate any trace. Removed her head so they can't identify by teeth. They removed her hands and arms and legs so they can't identify by fingerprint. They wanted this woman to disappear off the fucking face of the earth.
Seems a little bit
from
more
history,
personal.
right?
I see where you're going.
Get rid of this woman. You know what I mean? Now, it's believed that Baby Doe was killed because she was possibly a liability to the murderer.
Yeah, he's stuck with a 2-year-old.
Right. Alleging that Baby Doe may be his. So we'll soon find out.
Are you going the mistress route?
I'm going mistress route. I'm going
girlfriend.
The baby was his. She was a mistress. You know, girlfriend, whatever. Maybe something happened where, you know, it happens where the mother of the child is like, you know, I'm sick of this. I'm telling your wife kind of shit, and no, you're not. You know, so we'll find out more, hopefully, with when more DNA tests are run. Now that he's in custody. Now, this is heart-wrenching. Now, in a sick twist, Peaches and Baby Doe were placed on opposite ends of the dumping grounds. Okay.
Oh,
as far away.
That's symbolism.
Symbolism, right? Now, you don't want it to connect. Same thing with the dismemberment and everything. You don't want the connection to be made between the mother and daughter. Okay. Not only that, but this woman was murdered. The baby was murdered. They couldn't be put to rest at the time in the same location. You know, when you think of it in like humanistic terms, you basically took this baby away from her mother and put her 15 fucking miles down the beach away from, you know what I mean? Like, you're separating them, which is symbolic and fucking sickening.
Even after death.
After death. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, they were placed on opposite ends of the dumping grounds, making them the two victims out of all of these women, making them the two victims who were placed the farthest apart from each other. Like he wanted no connection whatsoever. Just thinking about it, like, put it in the context, like your child. Especially, if
DNA finds out that it was his.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's confusing to me too, because I feel like in 97, like, why was that baby not like? There was no record of a baby. Like, I know there's baby doe and all that other stuff, but like, no, there was no missing babies reported at this time. Or,
well, what they're doing now, and this is actually,
like, she had a social security number. You know what I mean? Like, so
because neither of their DNA is officially of record. Because not everybody's DNA is of record.
Yeah.
However, through genealogy sites and whatnot, they have made a familial connection with a family in Alabama. Not a direct, like a second, third cousin or whatever. So authorities are actually trying to find this family in Alabama to actually put a name and a face to Peaches and Baby Doe. You know what I mean? So that's actively going on right now. Now, some of the other potential victims of the Long Island serial killer, they haven't been connected. However, a lot of circumstantial evidence kind of points to it, so to speak. There's Natasha Jugo. She was 31. She was last seen on March 16th, 2013, leaving her homes in Queens Village, New York. The next day, Jugo's vehicle was found abandoned along Ocean Parkway near Gilgo Beach, along with her wallet, ID, and some clothing. Her body was discovered washed ashore on Gilgo Beach on June 24th, 2013. Now, this is a little different than the others. The only connection is that she was found in the same area.
Yep.
She wasn't disposed of, so to speak. She kind of washed up on shore, so who knows? On March 3rd, 2007, a dismembered torso of a Hispanic or light-skinned African-American woman was found inside a suitcase in Westchester County, New York. Okay. Something worth pointing out is that Westchester County is about an hour and a half drive away from Gilgo Beach. So it's out there. Almost
people aren't just
up near Connecticut, basically.
But people also aren't just butchering bodies and keeping torsos.
Right.
So
there is a connection.
It's more of a connection just
right
being from an hour and a half.
Right. So this does tie in, even though she was found an hour and a half away. This does tie in. She had a tattoo of 2 red cherries on a green stem located right above her right breast. And now, rather than being a Jane Doe, she is referred to as Cherries. She was decapitated and dismembered, but her alleged cause of death was a stab wound to her torso. Now, while she was disposed of a little hour away, the resemblance to the next victim that we're going to discuss places her in the conversation as a potential victim of the Long Island serial killer. On June 27, 2008, the remains of 39-year-old Tanya Rush, a Brooklyn mother of 3 who worked as an escort, was discovered dismembered inside a suitcase, similar, on the shoulder of an entrance ramp on the Southern State Parkway, which is about 15 minutes away from the other bodies. So now, Tanya Rush was found in near Gilgo Beach in a suitcase, dismembered, which now places the similarity to Cherries, who was found an hour and a half away, dismembered in a suitcase.
Yeah.
So, like I said in the story, like some of these women were basically abducted near his place of work in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And disposed.
I mean, it's kind of a central hub.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's.
And they're disposed 15 minutes away from where he lived, from his house. Gilgo Beach is 15 minutes away. We talk about serial killers and everything like that, like always returning to the scene, kind of like, rub one out or whatever. Just kind of like, or just park their car and just remember, recall the thrill. The thrill of the kill and all that kind of stuff. This dude was 15 minutes away.
I mean, to be fair, he could.
He
was 2 hours out for anything.
Yeah.
From any to relive any moment.
Yep. So, you could be like, all right, honey, I'm going to the store to get a pack of smokes and go to the dumping site and back in probably about the same amount of time. You know what I mean?
Be interesting to see if he had any mementos later on when we find after they raided his house.
Yeah, there was an article. I couldn't because you need a subscription to like fucking half these articles.
Yeah.
There was an article that said something that talked a little bit about what they found inside his house, which matches some of the shit that was found on these women. Like I said, you need a subscription to fucking read it, so I couldn't really see it, but whatever. But yeah, that's what I got for all this. A lot of information still pouring in.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a follow-up episode because we're going to watch this heavily.
Yeah, and like I said, this whole case is close to home. Not only it's right across the fucking water. Yeah, we can look from the shore and look at Long Island.
We can. A boat ride's faster than driving.
Sail away on a Block Island ferry.
You can take the Long Island ferry too.
It's all Long Island ferry, yeah. Not only is it like you can literally see Long Island from the shore, but also. We have a victim from Norwich, who's also part of this. So yeah, definitely something we're very interested in. Hence why I pretty much scrapped the episode that we were going to do and jumped right on this. We wanted to get this out to you guys and hopefully, get some feedback from y'all. What do you let us know what you think about this whole situation? Are all these bodies connected? Is Peaches and Baby Doe possibly the
love child,
the lover and child of the killer? Leave us in comments or on Spotify or shoot us an email at criminalafpod@gmail.com. Comment on Instagram, whatever. Let us know what your thoughts on this episode. Like I said, as more information comes out, we're gonna dive a little bit more into it. Definitely worth keeping an eye on.
No, it's exciting.
Yeah. This is our first
I know, but it's
reaction video episode.
But also it's like we've been flooded in the news with mass killers at this point.
Yeah.
And we find you know what I mean? We haven't got a good I don't want to mean good serial killer. That's not bad wording.
No, I got
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We haven't had a serial killer in a long time to talk about.
Recent. Yeah. Yeah.
So
because basically all the stories we tell, we're historians. We're telling history stories. Yeah.
So
this is like now. This is like.
I was actually talking real quick before we go. I was talking with somebody on the way into work, and they're like, "Wait, you're gonna tell me there was a serial killer with possibly 11 bodies and I had no clue?" I was like, "Yeah, that's because mass shootings have taken the fame away from serial killers 100%.
Right. Well, that
11 people is nothing when you're taking out 30 kids in a high school.
Yeah, not only that, but we've become so desensitized to all of this. You know what I mean? Like you said, 11 bodies, whatever,
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday, Yeah. But, so thanks for dealing with us. It's a little spotty information, but, we try to throw this together just to get it out to you guys. And this is our first, live action as we're discussing episodes.
As the stories and news is coming in.
Right. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Criminal AF, the Gilgo 4. Rex Heuermann.
Rex Heuermann. Architect extraordinaire.
All right, before we go, if you liked what you heard, go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts and leave us a review or comment. And don't forget, you become one of the debauched by joining our Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Everyone gets ad-free episodes and access to our Discord channel. To those who join our $5 tier or above, you get all of our Audible video and downloadable content, including narrated scripts from every story, 5-minute murder, and random AF. For the higher tiers, you get all of this, plus producer credits on every episode, some goodies thrown in like t-shirts, posters, coffee mugs, etc. Just go to, what?
criminalasfuck.com
and click on the links. You could go to our support, socials, merchandise, reviews, and more, and they're all listed in the episode description. Signing off from Studio Chloroform. Keep your head on a swivel and stay safe till next time. Now give me our theme music. See ya. Executive producers for this episode are Christine Rivera, Beth Davis, and Dusty J. Hicks. Associate producers are Paul Hodge, Laura Shin, Chantel Seislick, Jay Rawlings, and Terry Burke-Woolman. Producers are J.D., Trent Gobble, Devin Dean, Lissa Perello, Alicia Knight, Maria Celine, Chris Owen, Justin Ware, and Beth Esselman. This story was researched and written by Dorothy Jari, edited and narrated by Dave Jari. For a narrative-only version of this episode, follow Criminal AF Direct, available wherever you listen to podcasts.